check on my account, or will that like ruin things? Can I hear myself? Can I hear myself? Oh, good. Okay, that is working. Great. Yay. If you're here, hopefully you can hear me. I think we fixed it. Um, Sorry that the sound cut out. I think it was because of an emergency um, thing that was broadcast to New York. So hopefully that won't happen again because I already knew that we had a travel ban. Uh, but you know, it's because of the blizzard. So I understand they're trying to keep people safe. But anyway, we're gonna do some writing. There's about 4 minutes left in this session, and then we'll chat for 5 minutes. And hopefully everyone's having a good night. Ooh, okay. 15 seconds before break. If you've got stuff you want to chat about on break, be sure to let me know in the chat. Yay, thanks. Okay, we did it. We made it to break. Ooh, any music I'm listening to lately? I honestly have not. This is going to sound really bad. This month has not been a music month for me. Music makes me really emotional, and I feel like I've been trying to avoid emotions for the most part. So I've been listening to like, um, I listen to a lot of Django Reinhardt when I'm like writing in the morning. So sometimes I'll put his record on. I put on The Killers a lot because I just kind of like, I don't know, they're like disassociative music to me. And I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, but like not good podcasts, like podcasts I stopped listening to a long time ago that just feel background noisy. I listen to a lot of Blank Check, the podcast. So been listening to old episodes of David Fincher series because I've listened to them 1,000 times and they feel very like comforting. But yeah, I've been listening to records, but I haven't been putting on like iTunes. Um, what song? I had a song the other day that was stuck in my head that was from like the Clueless soundtrack, and so I ended up putting that on a bunch of playlists because it's I have I do a lot of walking around playlists for when I'm walking around New York, and usually I try to keep those to like a specific kind of beat so that I can walk consistently and quickly. Um, I I'm a big dancer, so for me, a lot of times when I'm listening to music, I'm just seeing choreography. So sometimes it gets stressful, and I don't listen to music passively all that well. Anyway, this is a really long answer about the fact that I'm not really listening to music. I listen to a lot of Beastie Boys in the winter in New York. I don't know what it is, but I do love the Beastie Boys. Big, big fan. Yeah, I don't know. There's certain bands that are just like easy for me because I know I don't have like strong emotional reactions to certain albums, whereas other ones I'm like can't touch that with a 10-foot fucking pole. Um, oh yeah, I'm so tired and I don't know what to do for this prompt. But I'm gonna write this prompt and then I might like go to bed. I might go to bed at like 9:20 tonight is kind of like my hope because I've just been staying up so late and my back really hurts and just I need to like get it together tomorrow and the easiest way for me to do that is to wake up early and like start my day on the right foot. I've been like sleeping in and that has been making me sad. So I need to stop doing that. Because I'm someone who, if I wake up and it's like 10 a.m., I'm immediately like, the day's done. There's nothing I can do there. And Sunday's supposed to be for resting, you know? I say that and I'm literally drinking a caffeinated beverage, but sometimes we make choices. And I need to wake up to write this thing and then I'll go to bed. And it'll be fine because I'm not really that affected by caffeine in general. I do have to make dinner, which is a consideration because that's going to take some time and I probably shouldn't go to bed right after that. But I can still wake up at 6 tomorrow and work out first thing in the morning and shower and then I'll feel like everything is possible. Um, and I should do my dishes before I go to bed tonight because then I'll wake up and feel extra possible. Everything's about setup. Everything is about setup. But I don't know what to do for the prompt this week. I'm out of ideas. I've done so many of them. Part of me is like, it's been a year, so I could do a timeline map, which would be fun. Um, I could do like a 5 whys. It's been a while since I did that, and I did do that last week, and that's like a really good one. There's so many. There's so many things to do. Okay, 30 seconds left. If you're sticking around, we're going to do 20 minutes of work, and you can feel free to throw anything you want to chat about in the chat. Um, It is No New Ideas February. Did I write about No New Ideas February on the newsletter? I could do a follow up. It is the last Monday of February, so that would round it out. Good call. Oh, that's exciting. Okay, maybe I'll do something with that. Last week of February. Let's get it. Man, why did I do... We are not going to do a Five Whys this week. We just did a Five Whys. Is this a good prompt? Okay, that's a good prompt. All right, you got like 40 seconds left before the break. So if there's anything that you want to chat about, be sure to leave it in the comments. And I am going to feed my cat before the break starts. And she doesn't want to eat lately. Go on up. All right, break time. We made it. Sorry, I'm crinkling a bag directly into the microphone. Not great. Not great. Great Foley work, but not great audio work on my part. How do I work with no music? I can't work with music. I find music very distracting for my personal brain. I work to movie soundtracks sometimes, like wordless. I can't have lyrics. If there's lyrics, it's game over. So silence is what I find to be most productive for me. Sometimes I'll put on like ASMR, like walk around the woods kind of stuff, which is also helpful. I like white noise. But yeah, I can do classical music or I can do like soundtracks. Big fan of Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross soundtracks, especially for typing. So that's what I usually do. But if there are lyrics, I just get distracted. I start thinking of dances and stuff. So I avoid a lot of that. But I do have good working playlists and like, especially when I'm writing fiction and stuff, I like to do playlists to like get in certain headspaces. Sometimes if I'm like writing a specific character, I'll make them a playlist and I'll like go on a walk and listen to that playlist on my walk. And then I'll come home and write the character, which is always fun, especially because I like to edit characters on separate tracks. So if I'm editing, I'll like only edit one character and that way I can kind of like stay in their voice the entire time. And I feel like I have a better grasp on what they sound like if I'm not flipping between a bunch of different character voices. So I'll write them all at the same time, but when I edit, I like to go through and edit just one at a time. My heat is finally on, but only in 2 rooms, which is annoying. I wish it was on in all of the rooms. I think I have the prompt. I did a practice prompt of it. I did like contemporary modern dance for a long time, which I like and is fine. I did a lot of hip hop. And I did like jazz, lyrical Broadway stuff when I was a kid. And I like Broadway style of dance. But yeah, all dance. I didn't do ballet, but I know like the foundations of ballet because it's the foundation of all dance. But very, very grateful that I was not ensnared into ballet's kind of bullshit. Difficult to escape, I would say, from all of my friends who I've watched kind of like recover from doing ballet over the years. Yeah, I feel like it's a similar thing I have with the music, like the lyrics and the reading. Like if I'm typing and I'm writing, I can't have words happening because then I'm listening to the words. Sometimes I'll put on like I'll do like a playlist from like the 60s because I've heard those songs so many times that like I don't really notice. But like music doesn't really fade into the background for me. That's not something that's ever been true for me. So I think I just have like a very specific relationship to it. And when I used to tell people like I write to movie soundtracks, they'd always put on like Lord of the Rings or like Pirates of the Caribbean, and I was like, I get what we're doing here. I get what we're going for. This is so sweeping and dramatic. Like we need to take it down a bit. So it can be difficult to get in the flow state, but I think silence honestly works best for me, which seems I don't know. It's just focused. Like I also live in an apartment, so it's not really quiet where like I live in New York City. It's never quiet. When I go and like visit my family and stuff, I'm always like, oh my God, it's so quiet. I feel like I'm gonna die. And people are always like, that's so funny because like in New York, it's busy. So you feel like, I don't know. I think some people feel more vulnerable in cities because they hear people. And I feel less vulnerable in cities because I'm like, there's always someone around. And I feel like in the woods, I'm like, there's no one around. And everybody who is around has a hatchet. and, and other people are like, there's no one around. I feel so safe. So isn't it interesting that humans are all so different and react differently to the same stimulus? Okay. I think I might be able to finish this prompt in this next 20-minute stretch. So I hope that everybody is having fun working. And if I finish this, um, I'll chat and hang out for a bit and then head to bed because I'll be excited to be done. Okay, yay, 20 minutes, go work. technically, newsletter's done. Great news. Truly thrilling. Gonna have a pretzel in celebration. we're coming up on the break. So if you're here and you want to chat during the break, be sure to leave like topics, comments, questions, anything you want to get into during the next 5 minutes when we're not working and we're breaking. Yay. Hooray, we made it to break. Any Real Housewives thoughts? I have so many Real Housewives thoughts. If you have any more specifics, franchise-wise or things like that, I don't watch all of them. And I have a lot of thoughts about like the cultural impact of Real Housewives versus like the actual practice of watching Real Housewives. I don't. My view on reality television is I don't think you have to like anyone on it, and I don't think that's like a prerequisite of enjoying a show is actually thinking that any of these people are like good moral people. And particularly with the Housewives, like they've always been elites who are overly affluent in society. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think that honestly they are some of our best like anthropological kind of captures of WASP society, particularly in terms of like Real Housewives of New York. And I think they are really interesting cultural institutions, especially because they do tell the stories of women who are over the age of 45 usually, which is not a demographic we see on television. And these women are extremely affluent, as I said, and their husbands all hate them and divorce them as soon as they get a modicum of power. And I find that fascinating. And there are all these kind of women who have reached like a certain pinnacle of what we tell women they're supposed to care about and do and perform as, and none of them feel like they're getting it right, and none of them ever really feel fulfilled by it, it would seem, because they're trying to find fulfillment through other things. I watch Roni, I watch Atlanta, I watch Salt Lake City, but I don't love it. I think Salt Lake City is an interesting one. A lot of people say if you're new to Housewives, you should get into Salt Lake City, and I'm like, I don't know what you'd enjoy about it if you're not seeing it as like kind of a parody of other Housewives shows. I used to watch Beverly Hills, but I find Beverly Hills dreadfully boring. And the reasons that Beverly Hills was good in the beginning is because they were like doing something that I genuinely think is one of the most morally reprehensible things that's ever happened on television, where they were filming a woman who was in a domestic violence situation that did end not in her death, but in his. So, you know, Bravo was completely irresponsible. They also outed that abuse on television. And kept it in the plot. So I feel like Bravo it's one of those things where when people are like, I don't know, it's the same thing with Vanderpump Rules. Like I find it actually really hard to talk about Vanderpump Rules with people who weren't watching it live, because it's like, how can you go back and watch it now that we know how much of a monster Jax Taylor is? But at the time we didn't, you know, we had inklings, but we didn't know. So I find Roni in particular to be fascinating because it was capturing kind of what was happening in the upper echelons of New York City society during the financial crisis of 2008. And they were all judging a woman for owning a Brooklyn townhouse in Park Slope. Like that townhouse is worth so much money today. And they were acting like she lived, you know, like she deserved to be judged for where she lived. Meanwhile, she actually lived in the coolest neighborhood. So it's interesting. Bethany Frankel, I think, is like an awful human being, and she was awful the whole time, and she was clearly, you know, peddling an eating disorder, but we don't look at it that way. So I think individually they're all fascinating. Oh my God, congratulations on grinding on an essay. That's a really long time. Um, that takes commitment. So great job. Um, Glad you found me now. Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I should do another episode on Bravo because I am fascinated by the summer house of it all. Yeah, I feel like I stopped watching Survivor pretty early on. Like, I don't know, me and my ex rewatched a bunch of it and we got to like All Stars and I was just like, I don't care about the game. Like but I think that it's like obviously one of I got very into the challenge for and also had similar like moral complex issues with it. Early America's Next Top Model, I think season one of America's Next Top Model is truly one of the best seasons of reality television ever made. And I know that there were like horrific things happening during it, but I do find it just like genuinely fascinating. Um, I don't know that I've ever heard a positive review of Grad School, is what I'll say. I like I don't know. I feel like all of my friends who have gone like they don't regret it, but it is that thing where like I've never heard somebody just be like, God, I love Grad School. So there's a sentence that no one's ever said before, which is something I like to try to come up with. Okay. Oh God, I don't want to do more work, but I do have 20 minutes more worth of work to do because I gotta do all these things. Thank you so much for enjoying my videos. I appreciate you saying I'm underrated. I think I've just been doing this for a very short period of time. Like I don't expect to have any more stats than I have. I'm really thrilled at my rate of growth. This past month has been like a very slow one for me, but that's because I'm not posting like 30 times a day. Because I'm too sad. So it's working out. We're doing it. Okay. Ugh, it's work time. Blech. Right, let's do it. Let's do a little bit more work and then we'll feel so good about ourselves and the things we have done. Yay. Wow, accommodate has two ends. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, wow. Searching my own blog for photos.
that shit was delicious. Oh, so I was right around there. Interesting. Okay.
1 minute warning, 1 minute left before break. Well, this is completely wrong, is it? Bing bong. Break time. Just changing workshops all over the place, but I'm gonna do a workshop next month about journaling and like how to journal, how to get into it, how to stay consistent, and then we're gonna like practice doing some prompts and like getting used to writing, and then we're gonna journal for like maybe 10 or 15 minutes straight, and that'll be fun. And I'm really excited. I love journaling. Love talking to people about journaling. So that'll be exciting. Oh, thank you so much. I'm like truly, I talked about this a little bit yesterday on TikTok, but like, I don't remember that I don't know how to describe this without sounding really silly and out of touch, but like, I don't remember that people are going to see the video. You know what I mean? Like, I struggle to comprehend being witnessed online, despite the fact that I've now been doing it for the past few months, pretty deliberately. And yet I'm always stunned and thrilled and like truly so appreciative. So like thanks everyone for hanging out, for watching, for like subscribing, and like, yeah, it's really special. It's just kind of incomprehensible to me, and I don't know I don't know how to balance talking about those things in that way. Oh my goodness. I wish I liked Survivor the way the way that my friends do. It seems like so fun, and I feel like Traders is trying to, bite some of their bits, and it's not working. Traders has a terrible gaming system, and that makes it like a not satisfying show to watch, despite having so much cool potential. Yeah, it's interesting because like, okay, when I was starting out and I started making like basically exclusively Gilmore Girls content, especially on TikTok, I had like a very small group of people that were commenting on basically every single video, and I would reply to their comments with more videos. And so it felt very like insular, and a lot of those people, like I talked to them over DM or like whatever it was. So I knew their names. Like I'm one of the girls, like we met up and went to a yoga class together. And I've actually meant to like reach back out to her, but then I've just been so depressed I haven't been leaving my house. So it's fine. we're getting through the eternal sadness. But yeah, it's been really fun. And so like literally interacting with people who've seen me online and then like wanted to meet me has been so far very cool, which is lovely. And it's not that like, I don't know. I think I understand the idea that I'm putting something out there and then people are like watching me and enjoy, like hopefully enjoying what I'm saying and like getting something out of it, because I'm getting something out of making them. So I hope people are getting something out of watching them. But what the thing that always breaks my brain is when people are like, oh, I showed my friend your video, or like my friend and I were talking about your video, or somebody, like I get really again, these are lovely comments. Like I don't mean to make anybody feel weird or like they're doing something wrong, because they're not. That is like the point, is to share it with people. But I'll get comments being like, you're famous in my group chats, and I'm like, that is so incomprehensible to me. I don't know how to square that in my head, that like anything I'm saying is having that effect. And it's funny because like with like the smoke show stuff, I think it's been interesting to like have something I've been working on for 5 years become like an overnight success in this like specific way of, I got hundreds of subscribers from that Heated Rivalry post, and I got like so many people listening to these podcast episodes that I'd made like 3 or 4 years ago. Like I had people DMing me about Don't Forget Meg Ryan, which like the first episode of that came out in like 2016. So it's cool with work that once it's there forever and people can interact with it. And it's like, I've clearly been putting stuff out there. Like the point is for other people to engage. I'm hoping that it's engaging for other people because otherwise it's just selfish. You know what I mean? Like the ideas are there to be shared. And I want to have these conversations. I want to bring these ideas to like public consciousness and whatever, which seems really lofty when the thing that I'm talking about is like reality tell, but like it's also pop culture is the thing that culture is engaging in and dominating. So like why wouldn't nuance be good in that arena? And I feel like lately I've felt very stuck in just making content about heated rivalry, like partially because I feel like I've really developed like a very specific audience that expects only that, because I haven't been making other videos about other topics. And that's all I've wanted to talk about. Like I wouldn't be making them still if I wasn't interested in talking about them, but I do feel myself being like, okay, I don't know how many more times I'm gonna talk about this one, but I want to make longer form content so that it's like all in one place. I've put all of my ideas in a coherent narrative, I guess. Narrative is not the right word for it, but yeah, I feel like I feel very kind of stuck right now, but I know that that's also just depression. Like it's the same thing that's making everything hard. It's just that sometimes being alive is hard. And we don't have our full capacity or creative brain. I do think like making more videos around like no new ideas February, talking about like productivity that's like positive and not just like mindset, grindset capitalism is something that really intrigues me. And it's like what I do with my work, obviously, but I also don't want to be confusing in that way. So I should probably start like uploading more things to like the Meeting Medic channel and whatever, and not blending everything together on Oh Hi Claire. But I don't know. I think my I know this sounds like a lofty thing to say about a channel that is mostly just videos about heated rivalry. But I do think that my goal with everything that I do, kind of creatively, professionally, whatever, is to make the world like a more thoughtful place. And so part of me thinks like if it falls under that umbrella, it's within the brand, you know? So the most millennial sentence in the world. That's my brand. I think I did a smoke show on the Fyre Fest documentaries, but I do think the Fyre Fest documentaries are like the last hurrah of millennial culture, and I find them so fascinating. And I used to like every year I'd watch both of them back to back and like think about the production choices that they both made and why both of them are like kind of disastrous documentaries in terms of like ethics, and how one was trying to be like the more ethical version of the other. You can't have ethics and fuck Jerry in the same context. It doesn't work like that. But yeah, excited to keep doing things. I'm hopeful. I need to like finish doing this work tonight. And everything always takes so much longer than I think it's going to, but I need to just finish up these pages so that when people go to sign up for the workshops, there's like stuff there, even if it's not like the final version. And I need to make sure that all of the dates line up with what I want them to line up with. So that'll be good. And then I have workshops next month. So you can come and like learn how to journal, or you could come reflect on how the first 3 months of your year has gone, or you could come learn how to fix your meetings, or you could come learn all about the meetings pack. And it's going to be fun. So much going on. And yeah, I started watching Sex and the City. I love Sex and the City so much. And so part of me is like, I really want to talk about modern New York and the influence and women's media for women that was consumed by women, and how it kind of shaped like a lot of understanding of a city that it didn't represent fully. What does it mean to be a Carrie in 2026, you know? So anyway, I feel like with Heated Rivalry, I also just haven't been watching it the last few days. And usually that is what sparks my like videos is just literally me watching it and going like, oh, I could talk about that. Oh, that thing is a parallel. Oh, I think, wait, is that line actually quoting this line? And like, it is fun and I do love it. And then there's part of me that's like, I'm running out. I'm running out of things to notice. And like, I haven't made tons of videos that are very obvious to make. So I shouldn't say that, but this is about to wrap up this Pomodoro timer. And part of me is like, I should go to bed. But the other part of me is like, I have at least 20 more minutes of work to be doing on these things. And then maybe we'll do like another 5 minutes of chat and then I'll go away and I have to film myself writing the Monday morning prompt. So I have to do that and then I have to upload that photo and then I have to schedule that newsletter and then I have to go to bed because everything takes 10 times longer than I think it's going to, but that's okay. And it's fun to do work with other people. So thank you for hanging out and chatting and, body doubling and stuff. Um, it's a good time and hopefully this is working. Oh man, 2:30. I've been late nighting, so I hope you're doing okay. All right, 20 more minutes on the clock. Let's finish strong. Boop.
It's almost 10. Okay. Oh my God, we did it. We made it to break. And I think I'm done all the work I have to do tonight, besides filming myself and then taking photos of the thing that I'm writing down, which is very, very exciting. And the chat has completely gone away, which is so disappointing. I feel like the lives don't like me. Let me see if I can do this on the computer, which did work last time, but is a little bit funny to be like, look at me watching myself on the computer. So helpful. There we go. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah. Oh, so trippy. Okay. Thank you for being proud of me for doing all the things. It does suck. And I feel like it's wild just how much depression can affect you, but also this is like just it I've suffered with depression my entire life, but this is just very specific, like just regular grief and being overtaken by just the preciousness of life and the fact that we don't get to decide how much time we have with the things we love. And I hate being powerless. I really struggle with that. So that's been tough, but I'm glad I'm doing it. And I'm glad I've still just tried to show up every day basically and like keep going. Because it's never easy and it's never easy for anyone. And that matters to keep in mind because I used to be really resentful because I was like, some people just have a brain that makes it easier to do things. And like, yeah, that's true. But also, like, a lot of people are just working really, really hard and don't complain about it because it's gauche to complain in some people's minds. And so I think it's really important to like keep that in mind that like we all struggle with different things. We all have strengths in different areas, and no one's perfect. So everybody's trying their best. I'm really excited about all the workshops. I do need to make sure that I'm not overloading people, but also like, I don't know, at this point, like, get overloaded. I also need to make sure that this is accurate, and it's not right now. But this will be fun. I'm looking forward to March. I think the March events will be a good time. I hope people will come to them. I hope they appeal to different people. I'm excited about all the work I'm doing, which is nice. And I just need to show up and do more work. Also, tomorrow is, I believe, the last, tomorrow. I'm done this bullet journal as of tomorrow. I have one more page, and it's like the literal last page. And honestly, like, I ripped out some of the beginning of this notebook. So let's see. I started using it every day again on page 51 on Wednesday, November 5th. I start on page 51. I'll end on page 251. So that's fun. This looks, this is always nice to be able to flip through and see the different weeks and all the things. But I've kept it like a really consistent looking journal for a while. So, but it is fun. I did dig up another old Leuchtturm to use when that one's done. And this one actually has some really old tasks in it. And you can see like how I used to have the days and stuff. But I've been doing this for a while. I've been doing the washi tape for quite some time. I was going to track 100 books I've read. Didn't do that. But yeah, you can see like how the weeks used to look like this. So it's good to do things because then you find out how you like to do them. This is like, this is a pretty modern version of what it looks like now, where I do like work stuff, home stuff. I flip the order now, but the washi tape has been on the side. I should find my oldest bullet journal that I used at my buying job. But it'll be fun. I have no idea what year this is from, so it'll be fun. And Weem has already chewed this one, so it already doesn't have one of the thingies. But yeah, excited to break this open on Tuesday. We'll go from pink to green, and this will get retired to my shelf of completely full notebooks because I love having a completely full notebook. It's a simple pleasure I get in life. Okay, well, thank you all for hanging out. Honestly, finishing notebooks is very, very fun. Part of me is like, I should do a tour of them at some point, but these, I can show you a picture. These were all the notebooks that I filled out in 2022. And these were all the notebooks I filled out in 2023, like just diaries, just handwriting diaries. As you can see this year, I went for a reflexive theme. So this was the first one, this was the second one. And so by the time we hit the middle, it like went back out. So the colors lined up, which I was very proud of myself for. And then the last few years, I've just journaled in the lime green moleskins. So I think this will be my fourth or fifth lime green in a row. And yeah, I love filling out a notebook. It's very, very satisfying when you flip through them. And even with the with the Leuchtturms, I'm always like, well, I didn't technically fill it out because I didn't use the back of the page, and it's like that doesn't, it's so silly. But I used to get really like, no, if it's not like one notebook the whole time, it's not right and whatever. And at some point, I ran out of money for new notebooks. So I just got over it and started using them. But I also think it's that thing where like when you don't do it every day, one error feels like a huge deal, and you're like, oh, I really want to skip this page, and then it's going to look bad forever. And when you do it every day, you realize that like it's fine. You're never going to look at that one page again, you know? So, I'm going to get back to writing morning pages on camera because I think it's really good and encouraging. This is my current journal, but I just like the look of it, honestly. That's like a huge part of why I like writing the way that I write. Which, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like people get weird when I'm like, I just like the way my handwriting looks. That's why I like handwriting so much. But it's true. And yeah, I don't know. I made a video about this and then I was like, this just comes off so bratty sounding, but like I used to get asked all the time, like, how do you have such a nice handwriting? And like, for me, the answer is I decided I was going to have nice handwriting in high school, and I've spent 3 pages a day, basically every day for the last 15 years of my life, practicing my handwriting in one way or another. Like I didn't purposefully do that, but like that is what has happened because I write every single day. And my mom has handwriting that's very similar to mine that I like, but I write as fast as possible. So like my handwriting is quote unquote nice, but like this is not great lighting source. Shall I hold a candle up to it? It's one of those things where like it's just the fastest I can write, and that's where it comes from. But like many things in life, there is no actual secret to it. It's just like this individually, these letters don't look nice. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a total Monet. It looks nice from far away, but up close, it's a big old mess. And I feel like that's my approach to my handwriting. It's just like, it doesn't matter if it looks a little bit messy because in cursive, everything flows together. And I had a really hard time, in Ireland, they make you write with fountain pen in the schools that I went to. And so I had a really hard time with that. And so I finally learned how to write in cursive. And then we moved back to America. And I was like, well, this is a fucking useless talent. And then I realized that I could just still write in fountain pens. And that could be like one of my things. But fountain pen is tricky and inky. And now I like only use Sharpie gel pens. But my print was like the bane of my existence for many, many years. I have terrible lowercase print. So one day a friend was like, you can just write in all in all caps when you're writing in print, and that will solve like 90% of your issues. And it literally does. Anytime someone asks about my handwriting in these notebooks, like again, big old mess up close, but like it looks so much neater when it's all one size. And I have a lot of trouble with spacing. Like I don't leave a nice amount of space between my letters and stuff. So I really do. The dots were really helpful. I used to make myself write different letters in different boxes and stuff. Like you think this journal's pretty. I used to make my journal so nice. Which is good. It's good. It's good to have things that you're doing that are just for you, you know? Okay. I do have to go to bed. It is already 10:10. I do have to go write my morning prompt and film it and then take photos of it and then put the photos in the Monday morning prompt on the Smoke Show, not the Smoke Show, on the Meeting Medic Substack. And then I'm going to drop everything. And then I have to brush my teeth and do my water picking and all that and then go to bed. And then tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm going to do like an hour of working out because I just feel like I haven't done working out in a while. And lift weights because I want to be strong again and I can't go outside because it's a blizzard. So hopefully I have power in the morning. Thank you all so much for chatting and being here. It was fun to hang out, and we'll do it again sometime. I'm going to try to like get more consistent about when I go live and stuff so that people can like plan to do body doubling with me and not just like stumble into me doing it. So if you have like specific times or anything like that, like feel free to let me know when it works best for you. I'm going to try to do one tomorrow around like maybe 6 to 8. Because I do always end up chatting, but I do enjoy these. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Good night.